Well, it's been a while since I last talked about From Software. Okay, it's only been a month since I last talked about them via my review of Bloodborne, but I want to talk about the game that put From Software and the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, on the spot. So welcome to my review of Dark Souls. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new review. Tonight's game is one that I'm sure most of you know via reputation. Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a 3D action RPG which many also consider to be open world, and I do see why. It was developed by From Software and was published by Namco Bandai Games and was originally released back in September of 2011 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the PC. There was another version of this game released back in August of 2012 called Prepare to Die Edition, which has the DLC Artorias of the Abyss packed in. But for this review, I'll be using the 2018 Remastered version, and all footage you'll be seeing is from my New Game Plus run of the game. So that's why you'll be seeing me use my signature weapon, the Black Knight Halberd, or as I like to call it, my long stick, hitty stick of poking death. I swear my character is not compensating for something. Now my personal history with the Dark Souls series can be traced all the way back to when I was in 7th grade, I want to say. I was watching a channel called Matthew Chesman, who does parody animations of certain games like Fallout 4, Doom 2016, Tomb Raider, and the one that got me into the Souls series, Dark Souls 3. Now, after watching his Dark Souls 3 animation, which I believe at the time you only had the parody animation of the base game uploaded, but via that animation I got the PC version of Dark Souls 3, so now, here I am. I had Dark Souls 3's base game and the DLCs beaten, so now I'm heading back to the original. Now, here's the question. Is Dark Souls / Dark Souls Remastered any good? And is it something I could recommend to you? Let's find out. So if there's one thing the Dark Souls trilogy is very infamous for, it's the Vegas Hell plot. We open up on the player character in the Northern Undead Asylum, where after getting the key to our cell by the Knight Oscar, we get thrust into a boss battle with the Asylum Demon, which, if you're playing for the first time, you have to go through a doorway and get your character's equipment. But if you have balls of absolute titanium, or are playing on New Game Plus like me, then you can just fight him head on and receive his weapon, the Demon's Great Hammer, or as what some of my friends like to call it, the Fiery Smashy Hammer, or the Blunt Smashy Hammer of Boom Boom Death. I'm sorry, these are the friends that I hang out with, okay? After leaving the asylum, we enter Firelink Shrine, where we are then tasked on ringing 2 bells, one in the Undead Parish and the other in fucking Blighttown. I'll go into more detail about that place later. Anyways, we are also tasked on getting the Lord Souls, which includes Gravelord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, and this cheap as fuck asshole, before we get to go one-on-one with Zeus, but cooler. Anyways, get the Lord Souls, go to Kiln of the First Flame, and fight who I consider the easiest boss in video game history, if you know how to parry, but more on that later. Now, you have a choice of 2 endings. If you stay and touch the final bonfire, you get what this game considers the good ending, which continues the Age of Fire cycle, but since this was originally Gwyn's fate and he became the big bad, the same basically happens to you. Now, if you were to leave the boss arena, you get the quote-unquote evil ending, which ushers in the Age of Darkness and breaks the Age of Fire cycle, thus ending Dark Souls. Is what I would say, but we still have the Artorias of the Abyss DLC to go over. Now, the Artorias DLC has us get dragged into the past by Manus, father of the Abyss, to the land of Ulasil, which has been corrupted by Manus since the people somehow angered him. Now, Artorias, who is one of Gwyn's knights, goes out to kill Manus and save Princess Dusk, but he gets killed and corrupted by the Abyss. So the player character has to kill Artorias as well as kill Monas and save Princess Dusk, though the victory is still attributed to Artorias. So those were the plots of both the base game of Dark Souls as well as the Artorias of the Abyss DLC. Overall, they are quite good. Now, while the story may be vague to some, it's the lore of the franchise that pulls people together. So Dark Souls, much like Bloodborne, give us creative freedom to connect the dots about Dark Souls' overall lore. But with the story done, let's talk about gameplay. Gameplay of Dark Souls has us in control of our custom-made character known as the Chosen Undead, and the name of the game is Walk, Run, Attack, Block, Dodge, and Die. A lot. Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is definitely one of the hardest games I've ever played and beaten. Sure, you could beat the game as fast as almost 22 minutes, but that won't stop you from getting something we in the Soulsborne community like to call ganked. What is this gank, I hear you asking? Well, to put it bluntly, everything fucking gangbangs you while you're just on your merry way. Seriously, while recording footage for this video, I decided to do the kill Pinwheel first tactic because he was that easy to kill, only to end up in the Tomb of the Giants. And trust me, you do not want to be stuck down there. So I had to resort to help via SweetJohnnyCage. Subscribe to him, he makes really helpful guide-related videos. To get my ass back to Firelink, and trust me, it wasn't fun in the slightest, but that doesn't even compare to by far the most infamous area of them all. Fucking Blighttown. Fuck this place. We also have a nickname for Blighttown. 15 FPS Town, because, you see, the original Dark Souls, including on PC, mainly ran at 30 frames per second, which, sure, for a game with online multiplayer capabilities, might be a bit on the iffy side, but if you go to Blighttown in the original, you could kiss 15 of those frames goodbye. Maybe even more if your laptop is as powerful as a potato powering a toaster. But, thankfully, like I said, I'm playing the remastered version, so not only am I immune to the 15 or less FPS, but the game runs at a locked 60 FPS. Let's get back to the gameplay. If I were to describe Dark Souls' core gameplay, to quote some Call Me Johnny, it's like 3D Legend of Zelda on molasses. Every action you do, minus walking, uses up stamina, which is that little green bar you see. Dark Souls is all about managing your stamina. You can't go in all hacky slashy if this were to be like Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15 or even 7 Remake. You need to concentrate on your stamina. Now, don't worry, you can regenerate stamina, but you can't turtle behind the shield because that would just make your stamina regenerate slower. We also have our Sunny D Estus flasks, which are basically healing potions in the game. We initially start with 5, but at certain bonfires, if we kindle them, we could go up to 10. This is also why people like to kill Pinwheel first in the catacombs, so we could get the right of kindling, meaning we could go as high as we want. The most I did was 20. Make sure you comment down below to let me know what the max amount of Estus you can have. Now, of course, it wouldn't be an action RPG if I didn't go over the equipment you could get, which, trust me, will help. Now, certain enemies don't respawn, so if there's a certain weapon that drops on only one enemy, and it just so happens that enemy doesn't respawn, well, you should have luck, buddy. I'm very, very lucky that I got the Black Knight Halberd when I played this in my spare time, in between recording for my Portrait of Ruin re-review, because seriously, this weapon is overpowered as hell. Sure, I need to grind some souls to meet the stats requirement to use it, but it was damn worth it, and it became my main go-to weapon of choice. Plus, I could reinforce it to make it even more powerful. So, depending on how lucky you are with weapon drops, of course, the difficulty depends, and overall, gameplay is fucking hard, I'll admit, but hella satisfying when you beat a boss. And yes, what you see before you is me, inflicted with Curse and with Guinevere after beating the legendary and iconic Ornstein and Smoke battle during my first playthrough. Now, I want you to keep in mind that if you were to get the Curse effect, your health is halved until you get an item called a Purging Stone, so yeah, don't get the fucking Curse effect. Alright, so let's talk about parrying real quick. It's all about timing. You see, you can parry with any shield in the game, unlike in Dark Souls 3. Enemies will have a very specific opening where you can parry them. Try it out and instantly cream your pants when you made that successful parry and decimate the enemy health bar and humiliate Gwen. Visually, I I think this looks great. Even on the bog standard PlayStation 4 Slim, this looks great. It certainly looks better and runs better than the original. Enemies look great, bosses are huge and intimidating, NPCs are also great, and the environments look absolutely beautiful. The remastered version uses the Havoc graphical engine, and I just simply adore it. I fucking love how the remastered version looks. It gets brownie points just for that alone, even though I'm not much of a visual person. OST, it's not much but outside of boss fights. There are only like 5 areas that actually have their own themes. The boss themes, however, oh my god, I love them. Especially the theme of Gwyn. Now usually for a final boss, it would normally be something like the following examples. But with Gwyn, it's like this more sorrow theme. Here, just have a listen, and you'll hear what I mean. Now, let's recap. I think the story is vague, but great. Gameplay is challenging as hell, but great. Visually, I love it. I love it. And OST, I simply cannot get enough of. So here are my closing thoughts. Overall, I absolutely adore Dark Souls. From the intriguing lore, challenging gameplay, great visuals, and an amazing OST, I just love it. It may not be for everyone, especially for those who favor their gamer pride over getting good at the game, but at least give it a chance, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. For pain is an excellent teacher. So, with all this in mind, Dark Souls / Dark Souls Remastered gets my score of a 9.5 out of 10. But now, I want to know from you all, did you play Dark Souls or Dark Souls Remastered? What did you think of them? And are they something you could recommend to a friend? Leave your answers and more down in the comments. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and while you're here, consider subscribing and turn on the bell to be notified whenever I make a new video. As always, my social media links are down below. And to Dark Souls and Dark Souls as a whole, happy 10-year anniversary! But, with all that being said, I've been HorrorKid, and I will see you all in the next video. So take care, stay safe, and get vaccinated if you can.